Shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Chakudash. I want to give double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS who have taught us this word, teach us this word today. I want to give a salutation unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is the brother Yatazakba here with the brother Yakal Amath and the brother Kawashab, coming from the GMS Nebraska camp. And in this lesson, what we want to get into is speaking on the 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 destruction Esau is bringing to the earth as he builds these data centers for this AI. We understand that this AI is a huge centerpiece of his new world order and this technological advancement that Esau is bringing about. But these AI data centers that he has to build are very destructive for the planet. We're going to get into some things, show how much natural resources it takes to keep these things running and the effect that it has, and just show how Esau is an unprofitable ruler, through this technology he's trying to bring out. Did y'all brothers have any precepts y'all want to start off with?
Uh,
Okay, kind of. So, first off, we gonna start. There's a post from Instagram from this page called Entangled Tech, and it's titled AI consumed as much water as the entire bottled water industry this year. And it says, while millions face water scarcity, data centers drained enough water to meet the needs of 660 million people and emitted carbon pollution matching New York City. So you want to read it or that, I just read the first slide because
oh, okay.
yeah, we can start on the
Oh, yeah,
second
it's like,
slide. Yeah, so we can scroll one slide
yeah,
and then start.
you scroll one.
All right, yeah, yeah. All right, okay. So, yeah, we can. You
Right,
can
so on the next slide, um, it says the shocking numbers. In 2024, AI data centers consume approximately 4.2 billion cubic meters of fresh water for cooling,
mhm.
equivalent to the entire global bottled water industry's annual consumption.
No, that's absolutely insane. These AI data centers required, and this is 2024. It required the amount of water that was used in the entire bottled water industry in the U.S. Now it to so every time you go on ChatGPT or anytime, it's not just ChatGPT. You got to think AI is being used for hospitals now. AI is being used to power different security companies, surveillance. A lot of different things that AI is being used for. Esau's getting to the point where he wants to incorporate AI into, um, almost every industry. And so it is to the point to where these huge data centers to cool them down because of all the work that they're putting out, they have to use all this water. Now, you have people in the world, like I mentioned, it said that's enough water for 660 million people.
Mm.
And you got people who's in need for water. You got people in Flint, Michigan that don't got clean water, that was going through a water crisis. You got people in different countries that, having clean water for them to drink from is a blessing, and here you have it that Esau is using all that could be going out to people. He's using it to power his AI centers, you know.
Yeah, and just like what you're saying, man. That can be detrimental, like the brother was just bringing up, because that can be there can be casualties behind this. You know what I'm saying? There's 660 million to drink, for everybody to drink water every day for a year, bro. It's major, right? That's not So that it's going to have an effect on the people. But this is what Esau Edom is doing to fortify his agenda, right? To start people out, to put like the brother mentioned, putting all this money into the AI, and eventually people are going to have to conform, or you're going to fall out the way,
Mhm.
you know. But that's all I want to say.
Yeah, and if we can grab Sirach chapter 10 verse 3, Baba Basha.
That. Uh, this is the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, and verse 3. It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people,
Hmm.
but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
And Esau's that unwise king because we have to understand the Esau is the one ruling over this earth today. The scriptures say that the earth is given into the hand of wicked. We understand from Malachi chapter 1, verse 4, Edom is called the border of wickedness. So Esau, Edom being the so-called white man, we're not talking about your regular Joe Schmo Edomite that you're at work with. We're talking about the elites of Esau. We're talking about your technocrats, your elite banking families. They're the ones who rule this over this planet today, and they have a wicked agenda that they want to bring about, which goes under different names. For a while, it went under the title New World Order. Now you will hear the Great Reset. Agenda 2030, Agenda 2035, all these different things, to where Esau's ultimate goal is to push out that mark, that MOTB. Now they have to create infrastructure for that goal to be met, for them to meet their enterprise, because the MOTB is a digital system. They have to overhaul, uh, cash and bring a cashless society about. They want to bring 15-minute cities, replace humans at these jobs and replace them with robots and AI. There's a lot of work that they have to do. So that's why these AI data centers were being built. That's why at the beginning of 2025, you had the Stargate project where they made a contract. $500 billion is being poured into US AI research, and that's for a purpose. So that this MOTB can come about. So he is that unwise king, but through him wanting to bring about his enterprise, he's destroying his people. Because if you're the ruler of the earth, you have a responsibility over the people who are dwelling over the earth. The earth is given into your hands. So when you have pollution going on, when you have scarcity going on, all these different things, the wickedness that's going on across the globe, we can point toward Esau as the culprit because he is the one in charge. You know,
So,
Oh,
the book of Job, the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24, says, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked.
Mhm.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not where and who is
Right? And when the wicked is in rule, then you can expect wickedness to come from him. As the scriptures say, wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth because you have a wicked man in charge. You have a man in charge that's not seeking the righteous way, the way that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai has set out for us. You don't read nowhere in the scriptures about no AI and this technology or nothing like that. This is Esau trying to bring about his image of the beast. You know,
God.
did you have a point, brother?
Yeah, and a lot of these data centers, they're being built in around Jake's neighborhoods, because they're talking about how, oh, the cost is less, so on and so forth. So you got them in places like Memphis, Tennessee, and the situation with the water supply is so bad. I was watching a video. This lady was showing, like, look how much water pressure I got. She turned on her sink, and it was just dribbling water out, just barely, because that AI is just siphoning all that water that should be for the people of the city, but now
Yeah,
it's for AI. You
yeah.
know.
It's no surprise that Esau is building these things in Jake neighborhoods and areas where Jake is mainly populated because Esau has a perpetual hatred for our people, and not often, we always get the worst when it comes to Esau. We get the worst housing. We get the worst foods.
Mhm.
The worst opportunities. Esau ain't worried about Israelites. You know,
even first grade of water. I'm saying, depending on which neighborhood you're staying in.
Mhm.
So they had different laws that actually have good wholesome water in it, or better, because we're in the hood, in the urban areas. Hey, you can tell that you can damn near taste the lead in the water.
yeah, from faucets and shit.
You can taste the pollution. You know what I'm saying? When you go like where it's like predominantly like Edomites or something like that, they have a better grade of water. You know,
Mhm.
one of the brothers he had brought out years ago, and I back to you about even with car insurance. If you stay in the north side, north is north and south of the urban areas here in Omaha. Your insurance is higher. Due to the environment that you live in. Like opposed to like, when you go out west is where like Edomites mainly be at. Your insurance based off of your address will be a little bit lower than what yours is. You know, so that's just how it is. Esau know what he's doing. It's systematic. But yeah, you got it.
So we can read some more in that post.
You said swap.
No, in that Instagram post.
Con. Uh, yeah. So back into the uh,
We'll grab that Sirach first. We'll grab that verse 4 in a second though.
so back into the post. It says that's enough water to provide drinking water for 660 million people for the entire year. Every time you use Chat GPT, generate image or ask AI a question, massive server farms consume water to prevent overheating.
And it's getting to the point to where Chat GPT a couple years ago it was a little bit more niche. A lot of people like it wasn't like a household name, but now they pushing Chat GPT commercials and Grok commercials like they push like iPhone commercials. Like I was watching a football game not too long ago, and it had a Chat GPT commercial, and it the way that they push it is convenience, is like it's a tool to help people, which it is convenient, it is helpful. It does consolidate information well. It's a good search engine. It does a lot of things very well. You know, but Esau is pushing this and it's getting to a point to where it's becoming commonplace in people's households. People are damn near using Chat GPT more to search things than they're using Google.
Mhm.
But we see the ramifications that it has. You know, now Esau with his forked tongue, he'll come and blame people for using Chat GPT and saying, "Well, because you're using it, now these data centers are overheating." Nigga, you're pushing it. You made it.
Ah.
You know, just like we were saying before the lesson, Esau be talking about global warming and all this, and how we need to take responsibility to stop global warming. We need to lower our carbon emissions and stop driving as much. We need to recycle. And he's the one that are building these data centers, are building these factories, pushing all this carbon into the atmosphere, you know?
Uh,
Yeah, because he's pushing, like you said, he's pushing it to everybody, and then everyone's using it because again, he's the leader, And I got a preset for that. This is Sirach 10 and verse 2. It says, "As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein."
You get into that.
So basically, just like, he's blaming the people for all these things, pollution, like even with your car, oh, you're driving too much, you're eating too much beef, the cows are farting too much. It's like, this is the system that he created for us. It's like, we can't just go out there and make our own system. Like, we have to live according to the ways of Esau to some extent.
Mhm. God, can we go down to the part where it say, meanwhile, and yeah, we'll read that and then we'll go to the next slide.
uh, just a little bit more from this first slide on the post. It says, meanwhile, 2.2 billion people worldwide lack access to safe drinking water, and water scarcity affects 40% of the global population.
Now, the thing is, what people shouldn't be in need for water. This isn't going to be an issue when we come into our kingdom. The scriptures say when, you know, a nation will suffer drought and go through need if they aren't being in servitude towards the nation of Israel when we come into power. That's when the kingdom is gonna be hurting. Or these heathen, like we gonna be they're gonna be serving a hardcore captivity, so it's gonna come times where they ain't gonna have things that they need as a punishment and things like that. But when it comes to scarcity, like it's an issue, it's a problem. Like, man, we're running out of water. That's not going to be a problem when we come into a world full of righteousness, a new heavens and new earth. Esau is both so much in his power and in his knowledge, yet your people are suffering from lack of water underneath your rule. That shouldn't be an issue.
Exactly. The Most High, yeah, the Most High put enough. The Most High gave everybody what they need.
Hmm.
That's period point blank. So for Esau to oh, the earth is overpopulated. Oh, there's not enough water for it. It shouldn't be like that. Because the
No,
natural
make no
things like
fucking sense.
the water is natural, and the Most High gave that to us, you know,
No,
for our thirst.
make no sense.
But
People used to be able to drink water from you could just dip your hands in the lake, get some water. Like this is water is the most abundant resource on this planet, and you telling me that people that there's a water scarcity problem, you
Yeah.
know?
And that goes back to his pollution too, because a lot of these used to be clean, a lot of these rivers and lakes and all that, but then
Hmm.
he's dumping all his chemicals in there. And so that's, dwindling down after, time's going by. And so it's
Yeah,
becoming more scarce. But he's the one creating the scarcity,
yeah.
different, wicked practices.
Now we can go to that next slide.
next slide says carbon emissions, AI equal New York City. It says
Mm.
AI's carbon footprint in 2024 matched the entire annual emissions of New York City, roughly 50 million metric tons of CO2.
Hmm.
Data centers now consume 3% of global electricity, projected to reach 8% by 2030.
Right, because that's the thing. We're not even at the peak of how much these things are going to be used. We're going into 2026, and like we mentioned earlier, Agenda 2030 calls for upscale in AI usage. It calls for more resources being used. So we're saying they used water equivalent to the entire bottled water industry. We're saying that there's already a crisis. How much worse would this get? As a matter of fact, can we grab Matthew chapter 24, verse 22?
Gone. Gone. This is Matthew 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved.
Except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. We understand that Esau's kingdom is temporary. The scriptures say, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So there is going to be a transition of power, but if the Lord don't come back soon and shorten the time of Esau's rule, Esau will destroy everybody. You know, it is this is a destructive man. That's why the scriptures call him the son of perdition. That word perdition meaning destruction. Because everything Esau puts his hand to, he just breaks it. He just, like the elder often brings out. He brought out a point where Esau had uranium, which is which could be a great source of energy, but Esau used that element and made a nuclear bomb with it. And it's like this is just the mindset of Esau. This is a base, just destructive man.
Mhm. Gone. It says, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
So the Lord ain't gonna allow it to get to a point to where Esau is gonna destroy this whole earth or nothing like that. It's gonna get pretty bad, but um, you know, the Lord ain't gonna allow it to get to that point. That's why this time is speeding up. The days are being shortened. Esau's end is coming soon.
Gone. Yeah, I got a precept for you.
Probably shot.
This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 13. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come.
Mm-hmm.
Measure. Salaki, go ahead.
No, so like it says, "O thou that dwellest upon many waters," which is basically representative of Esau being having ruling over all the people of this earth. Don't it say that in Revelation? There's a scripture to talk about the waters being yeah. Can we grab that real fast? It says abundant in treasures, because Esau has great riches, as it says in his blessing that he will have the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven, which represents the resources of this earth, such as oil, such as the food of this earth, that's given in Esau's hand to um, own, you know.
I got that precept for you. Revelation 17:15. It
Mhm.
says, And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Right, right. So those waters is representing peoples, So this is, that same horde that's talking about in Revelation 17. This is Esau, you know, um, being, ruling over the people, abundant in treasures. It says, "What thine end is come." So there's an end coming soon to his his rulership, and it says, "And the measure of thy covetousness." Can we get into the definition of that word, Babu Bashar?
Uh, the word covetousness is H1215. It's basa. It means profit, unjust gain, profit acquired by violence.
And that's the thing. A lot of this profit that Esau has gotten has been acquired by violence. This is like we look at how he gained America. He came over here and took this land from the natives, from the native tribes. The way America was built upon the labor of the Negroes. Upon the labor of the Northern Kingdom. In South America. You know, this man, even when we look at even today, look at this situation with Venezuela, where the U.S. wants this oil, and to get that oil, he's going to war behind
Mhm.
Iraq. You know, uh, uh, time and time again, Esau build a coup against a leader, so that they can go into that country and get them resources and build in their riches. But that's a covetous mindset because to covet something is to want it, even when you don't need it,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Gone. And going a little deeper into the word covet, I got the etymology,
hmm
and it says to desire or wish for inordinately or without regard for the rights of others.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This AI is going to bring about an even greater level of control, power, and riches to Esau's kingdom. But so he's just going full steam ahead with it, but he ain't worried about how it's going to hurt the little people in his society. He ain't worried about how it's going to hurt people in third world countries. People who in need. He ain't worried about that. He ain't worried about all the debts that could come from it. You know, as long as he stacking, as long as he's stacking, as long as he sitting good, he don't care. Does y'all brothers have a point with that or
Uh, no, no, that was
okay?
pretty much it. But it did have me thinking about off that covetous, and based off of the precept in Sirach 10:2 that came out as a ruler as so as the people. You got to think about that. Esau pushed like he's the king of it,
Mhm.
But America, the same Americans that's following suit, that's gonna possibly suffer from what Esau Edom is doing. Uh, do the same thing. When there's a winter storm, what people doing? Oh no, 2020 was a perfect example. You had everybody going to the stores taking all that shit out of there, all the toilet paper and Lysol and shit. You had to think like, damn, what about me and my house? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Land of the free, home of the brave. Let's all be united. But I can't get a roll of toilet paper. So this is, but I just this is what I made me think of. Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah, I got a precept for you, brother. This is Luke Salagia. This is Leviticus 25 and verse 4. Um actually Salagia, that's the wrong one. Leviticus 19 and 10. It says, "And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of thy vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and stranger. I am Yahweh your power."
Yeah, yeah, and that's and that's how the nation of Israel used to operate. We got enough sufficient for our household. We didn't need an overabundance of grapes or overabundance of watermelon, overabundance of bread. No, we're gonna leave some of this stuff out there. Or specifically things like growing vines. We didn't take everything, oranges, whatever,
Yeah,
you
because
know.
in your field, like you would leave the corners. You wouldn't harvest that or anything when you was harvesting and something fell to the ground,
Mhm.
you would just leave it so that if somebody in need walked by, they would be able to get some, and that was basically like a natural welfare system that was set up through our law, where it shows the mindset of the Most High, and by extension, the way that He showed our people, it showed the mindset of our people that we would help if a person was in need. We didn't have a greedy mindset where we needed every single drop, you know. And when Esau's mindset, hey, in Obadiah 1:5, it said, "If these came to thee and robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Will they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, will they not leave some grapes?" And this is talking about Esau in this chapter of Obadiah, like he needs every single grape. And like he need every one. Man, bro, what just came to mind is these brothers put me on game to where Esau is talking about how he wants, like, he's replacing robots, or he's replacing humans with robots in these jobs. Why? Because you don't have to pay robots. You don't have to give them breaks. You don't have to, it saves a lot of money. But then he's talking about how he wants to tax the robots.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, tax, so that just shows Esau's greedy
Always he can
mindset.
move on his own tax.
Like, yeah, hey, I'm taxing it. I'm taxing your tax. So yeah, this guy is crazy.
Uh, Get back into this post. Um, it says Google's emissions jumped 48% from 2019 due to that development. And yeah, it says Microsoft's emissions rose 30% despite climate pledges. These companies are building new gas power plants just to power AI infrastructure,
Mhm.
directly contradicting their net zero commitments and accelerating climate change that's already deadly heat waves, droughts, and floods killing thousands. So
Yep.
you just adding, just putting lemon juice on the wound right now, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and Esau act like climate change is some type of natural phenomenon or something, or this is just happening and like he's the one that's doing it. You got the earth. Hey, as a matter of fact, can we grab what's that scripture that talks about the earth out of course? I
Yeah,
believe in
yeah.
Psalms.
I
Uh,
got you.
Real quick, just want to let y'all know I got the 10-minute reminder. So we're at about 9 minutes, 30 seconds left.
Okay, kind of.
This is Psalms 82, verse 5. It says, "They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course."
All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Um, they talking about is getting colder than it's ever been before. It's getting hotter than it's ever been before. We running out of water. There's droughts. Animals is damn near going extinct. Like the Lord didn't make the earth to be like this, But the thing is, the Lord is allowing this to persist because it's just evidence on top of evidence how just how unprofitable Esau is for this earth. To where when he's taken out of power and then he's under the rulership of the nation of Israel, when these heathen are under our rulership, they're gonna be like, man, they're gonna love that we're in power because of the peace that we bring back to the earth, because of the harmony we bring back to the earth. You know, that's why the scriptures say, when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Because we ain't gonna have the earth in this case once the nation of Israel takes over.
Yeah. It says it's gonna be the restitution, man. And according to Acts 3:21, the restitution of all things.
Yep.
He's the restoring.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Kind.
Yeah, you had something up?
Yeah, I got Proverbs 28 and 15. It says, as a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people.
Kind. As a roaring lion and a raging bear. And imagine like the danger that you feel. You got a lion chasing after you, and you feel, and you know you ain't gonna make it. You know, you're like, man, like I'm cooked. You know, but and that's how the poor feel and underneath Esau's rule. You know, you like, man, what am I supposed to do to try to get a leg up in this world? I'm cooked. You know, you get them bills and you like, man, I gotta work at this shitty job to keep this roof over my head. And, you know, and then you looking at Esau and what he got, and you like, man, like this, but he not sharing though.
Hmm.
That's the thing, he not sharing. And it's like,
This
you
is,
gotta point out.
oh yeah, I was just gonna say, and to add to that, Esau would rather throw shit away than give it out for free.
Facts.
Huh? The
Facts.
same mindset. I used to work at a grocery store, man, and they had this deli with all type of fried chicken, chicken tenders, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, bread rolls, all type of different stuff, man. And at the end of the day, they would fill up whole wheelbarrows filled with food that was still good, but they had to throw it away by law or whatever the reason was. They were just throwing it away in the dumpster, man.
God, yeah, it's the same thing as at places that I've worked. At that dairy that brothers work at, like at the end of the month, there's they throw a bunch of milk away, and I forget exactly the breakdown on why the elder said they do it, but what I do know is that he said they make money actually from
Mm.
that from throwing all that away,
Mhm.
you know, and you would think the only time I see them donating any of that milk is when there's like they have like certain people that are come in like they van or in like a pickup truck and they'll take a few cartons to bring it to a shelter or something like that.
Special.
You know, specials, yeah. But other than that, I'm talking like a lot of milk that they just throw away at the end of the month. That still be good that you could give to people, you know, and
Yeah, yeah, they'll throw away fucking hundreds of bottles of milk just because of COVID.
just because the code date's wrong, bro. And
Just because of COVID.
I understand you can't give that to a grocery store because of law or whatever the case may be, but there's people out there that would like that could take that, you know. But hey,
Hey,
Esau.
that's part of his wicked laws too, that framing mischief by law,
Hmm.
the capitalism. And I was looking it up earlier. Does capitalism create artificial scarcity? And it just said yes, in the Google AI overview, and it went into it how there's no lack of resources. Everybody could have enough food, shelter, everything. But Esau creates like this almost like a video game effect where it's like, nah, because we have this game now, you got to starve, and this person has a freaking mansion because they're one of us, you know?
Damn, yeah, I just searched it up. And it said by restricting production or availability of goods, resources like food, housing, and media to maintain high profits and prices rather than maximizing output, that creates artificial scarcity. You know, it says seeing the strategies like limiting supply for luxury goods, or using intellectual property to control ideas. And that's the thing, like the luxury goods thing. A thing can become luxury because it's rare, but it's just a construct. You know, like the Esau can bring something to the side and be like, okay, this is a luxury good because he says it's a luxury good. You know, but
Yeah, that's what they do with diamonds. They
exactly.
say diamonds are rare, but there's certain places in Africa you can find abundance of diamonds.
Hmm.
You know, yeah, Esau he'll put any price on.
Yeah.
Bigger the diamond, bigger the price.
Yep. Yep. Let me see how much time we got left. We got 3 minutes and 30 seconds. You know, we may get interrupted in the middle of our speech here shortly, but we're gonna start up another one, edit it together. You know, but you okay? Con. So we can go back. Oh, was we done with that Proverbs 28? There's more to it, right?
Yeah, there's a little more to it. Verse 16, it says, the prince that wanteth understanding is
Mhm.
also a great oppressor.
Hmm. Yeah, the prince that wanted understanding, and Esau is wanting of understanding. He thinks that he's on a level. He thinks that he has this wisdom because the Lord has given him this knowledge of this technology. So he think he on a level that Noah Yuval Harari spirit, where we can do everything that God can do. You know, they in that
No,
mindset,
no, they could do better.
they can do
They gonna
better.
be better than the God of the Bible. That's what he
That's
said.
yeah, that's what he said.
You know.
But if you was really wise, then everybody be good in your society. If you was really wise,
Yeah.
you know. But it says
Understand.
the prince that wanted understanding is also a great oppressor, and we could read on slide.
It says, but he that hateth covetousness shall prolong his days.
Right. So we went into that covetousness, that greed, that unjust greed and just wanting and wanting and wanting. It says if you hate that, you shall prolong your days. And
Mhm.
this is one of the cornerstones of Esau's personality, so that shows that, it's just a matter of time before he's taken down out of power.
Gone. Yeah, that's spiritual because he's gonna be the only nation that's gonna be done away with.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Esau gotta go, because it says the soul which is lifted up in him is not upright. You have these heathen that will, you know, these heathen will fall in line, but in some way, these Edomites, they have their wickedness is just rooted inside of them. They are the sons of the wicked. That's the way that the Lord set them up to be, you know.
Quick precept.
Okay.
Proverbs 29, verse 16 says, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth,
Mhm.
but the righteous shall see their fall.
The righteous shall see their fall. Exactly. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It reminds me of First Maccabees when it talks about when Alexander fell and then his four generals took over, and it says once they took over, wickedness was multiplied in the earth. That Greek rule was the beginning of Edomite dominance in the earth. And the scriptures say, as when wickedness started to multiply in the earth, when the Edomites took over,
Yeah.
you know. So this recording is about to end. We might as well just go ahead and end it right now. And then yeah, we'll be right back with it. So let me see here. Say less than 1 minute. So I can
Con, I could just stop it then.
okay, kind of. All right, there we go. All right, kind of. So we can read some more in that post.
So on the next slide, this is who pays the price? The cruelest irony. AI data centers are built in regions already facing water stress.
Mm.
Arizona, suffering historic drought with communities rationing water, hosts massive data centers consuming billions of gallons annually.
God, and that goes into what the brother was mentioning, how you have these data centers being set up where Jake is, but it's not just where Jake is, like in the U.S. Well, it's about to read on. Let's read some more.
It says in rural India, villagers walk miles for drinking water while nearby data centers drain local aquifers.
And we could read the next sentence as well.
This is African communities, Jake, experiencing famine and water scarcity. Watch tech companies extract their groundwater for AI infrastructure.
Right, and you just have a lot of these places where you have people in need that are suffering at the hands of Esau, just placing a data center right in the middle of their shit and taking their resources. But and Esau ain't gonna come. Well, it, I see it as part of his depopulation agenda because we understand that the elites they have a depopulation agenda and they bring it about by these different ways, such as, like, for example, you had the Georgia Guidestones that said what they want to keep humanity under what 500 million, and that's a large jump from, like, we have to think the Earth is at what 8 billion people according to Esau numbers. 8 billion down to 500 million is a lot of people that they want to get rid of, you
Mhm.
know. So there's a lot of different ways that they want to bring about that depopulation. It comes through the food, where Esau just slowly, slowly kills people's systems. It comes by way of them that jab, that did a lot in taking out a lot of people during 2020, 2021, 2022. Um, as a matter of fact, can we get that video and just play the audio? Lord willing, it'll come through good in the
Okay with that.
yeah, with the depopulation.
Yeah.
Because it's to a point to where it seems purposeful that they're doing this with the data centers and putting it in places that are already suffering. You would think they would choose better climates or better positions. As a matter of fact, the brother Kawashab had sent the article where they were saying, you know, the data centers, like, they're not being put in places that are what did it say about the
I got you. It says, no wonder there's a bubble. Study claims nearly all of the world's data centers are built in the wrong climate.
it's like like, why would they be like Esau know what he's doing. He's not just doing stuff and be like, oh, we put it in the wrong climate. I don't know how that happened. No, he's doing that on purpose because they're
Right
it's
here,
like,
it says, Salakia, it
now
says
go ahead.
nearly 7,000 data centers. So how they can't fuck up that many times on, you know.
Hmm.
After the first dozen, you're like, damn, hold on, wait, this ain't right. No, we just building, bro. Keep building.
So, so there's an agenda to this. Can we get that?
This is the video here. Just play the sound bite.
Population growth. That's this big benefit. The key thing you can do to reduce population growth is actually improve health. In the developed countries, the big winners are countries that have shrinking populations. I would like to reduce the number of people on the planet because there's too many of us. When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water. With too many people, we have global warming because too many people are using too much stuff. Now, the world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower them. We're taking
So
things that are.
it's just example after example. And Lord willing, the video don't get clipped from that last one, the Bill Gates one, because this brother Kawhi Shah posted that video by itself, no commentary, no nothing. He just posted Bill Gates saying that quote about if they do a good job with the jab and healthcare, they can lower the population, and it got taken down. And so, but the reason why they take this down is because it's truth, and it's revealing it's revealing Esau's wicked agenda. That was a compilation of different technocrats such as Bill Gates, different politicians. You had Kamala Harris in there saying different things, and then some people I don't recognize, but um, basically lesser luminaries that are in the know on what these globalists and the elites of Esau want to do, and they're talking about depopulation. Now that's going against the will of the Lord because the scriptures say the earth was created to be inhabited. As a matter of fact,
And also says, just to add to that, being fruitful and multiplying.
yeah,
That's the Lord. The Lord put us here to reproduce. You know what I'm saying? To cultivate the earth, to take care of it. You know what I'm saying? And it would give this increase, be it through Yahweh Bashem Shai. But that's not going the earth is not giving us for increase because of the rulers that are.
yeah.
But get it out.
If I can grab this Isaiah 45:18, which says, "For thus saith the Lord Yahweh that created the heavens, the Most High Himself that formed the earth and made it. He hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited."
Yeah. Yeah, he formed it to be inhabited. People are going to dwell here. Everybody's going to have their own section, but everybody's going to be good. For in the clip, oh, it's too many people using up too much stuff. No, the Lord, He made it. He made I won't say an abundance of things, but He gave everybody their just due. Everybody something to be content with. That's why you have people that last for years. You know what I'm saying? Because the Most High is dishing out his benefits, be it that are given through the earth. But Esau's fucking it up through drilling, over drilling, not giving the land any rest,
Yep,
polluting
yep.
every goddamn thing, spraying your foods. So yeah, now it's a total flip.
Yeah, Esau said that there's overpopulation, but there's just overcrowding because there's a lot of space on this earth where people could dwell and live. You got all these plots of land. Um, this earth is very vast. The amount of people that's on this planet don't even fill up half of this earth. But the way that Esau jams everybody into the same places, and you have these high density cities, high density countries, makes it seem like there's overpopulation, but no, places are just dense. And that goes into that let me grab this real fast. Where it talks about where's that precept at where it talks about how they add house to house and field to field.
Con.
Oh, I got it right here. Salakia. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 8, where it says, woe unto them that join house to house, that lay field to field, till there be no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. That's what it's about. These elites want to lower the population so that when their agenda is fulfilled of their MOTB, they have a lower amount of people that is easier to control, because it is harder to manage a planet of 8 billion people versus a planet of, as they say on Georgia Guidestones, 500 million, you know? And so it says what? They add house to house, they lay field to field. You see these apartment complexes, these um, metropolitan communities, with building after building after building, everybody all next to each other. That's Esau basically um that's Esau like funneling everybody into the same areas, so that the best places in the earth, the places that are vast, that do have the space that people could be living on, Esau could just have it to itself. That's what it's about. So
Or you gotta get a fucking permit from Esau to inhabit like let's say like in the middle of fucking nowhere. Esau come find you and he'll try to tax you. Like nigga, this ain't your earth,
yeah, bro.
you know? Hey, like the brother about that scripture out, man, the Lord established the earth to be inhabited, man.
You
You
have
you don't have no authority over the earth. Well, outside of what you've been given, but open field, man, let somebody have it, man. But yeah.
Con, I got a precept for you. This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 28. It said, and the Most High blessed them, and the Most High said unto them, be fruitful and multiply.
Fruitful and multiply, and that's what we're gonna do in the kingdom. We're gonna be fruitful and multiply. We Once we in the new bodies, once we in our peace, we're gonna be having dozens of children, hundreds of children, and we gonna fill up the face of the earth,
Con.
and there's not gonna be an issue to where we're gonna be like, oh, there's too many people. Now the thing is, even at that, the scriptures do say, in my father's house there are many mansions. So we're
Mm.
gonna be going to different planets, inhabiting, different places, through space, and which is a part of our blessing. But this earth we ain't gonna get to a point to where we gonna be stressed out like, man, we got too many people now, man. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, we're
Like,
gonna do
nah.
it the right way, man. We're gonna go to those other planets and follow the law, statutes, commandments perfectly. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
clean up all the water. And another point now that just came to mind, myself and the brother Isaiah made a video about the aquifers, you know,
Come.
for the crops. They would dig up these holes and siphon up that water from the aquifers whenever there was a drought or a famine. But then what would that cause? The ground would collapse and you had all these sinkholes and stuff like that, man. So yeah, man, this way of living, imagine if Esau took this to Mars. He would fuck up Mars too.
Just leaving his stain everywhere. You're going throughout space, just you know, the destroying. That's the thing is these at least talking about, yeah, now we want to go to Mars because y'all done fucked up Earth too much and now y'all want to get a restart and y'all gonna do the same thing over again, you know?
Yeah, they wanna do everything contrary to the Most High. They'll create a problem and then try to solve it, but then they end up creating a whole nother problem with it. You know, like AI, they said one of the reasons for AI is that they're going to be able to solve global warming, all these problems we got. And it's like, you causing it, man. Like,
Yeah, they say with AI we're gonna be able to solve global warming, and yeah, exactly. You causing global warming with the AI. How ironic is that?
yeah.
How ironic is that? So, we can go back to that. Did you have something? Knock?
No. Continue on this.
Okay. You could we go to the next slide, Babu Shah?
Says the next slide is the AI industry silence. It says tech companies hide the true environmental cost. They refuse to disclose water consumption data. They build data. They build data centers through shell companies to avoid scrutiny.
Hmm.
They claim carbon neutrality through accounting tricks while actual emissions skyrocket.
Hmm. And
Mike,
and that's the thing. Like Esau don't want to take accountability for what he doing. He just gonna stay quiet, act like nothing's going on because if he comes out and um says that what says that this thing that he's bringing about is a problem, that means that he has to do something else. That means that he has to stop. He has to change. And he don't want to stop. This is part of his agenda, and he's gonna bring it about. You know,
hey, well, I give a quick precept, to
come on,
complement
shot.
that.
Yeah.
This is the book of, let's see, Second Thessalonians 2:7. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
Hmm.
Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. So backing that brother up is he's not going. Esau's not going to stop destroying the earth and doing things such as building these data centers, sucking up all the water, pollute. He's doing that because the Most High is allowing him, but he's
Yeah.
going to be taken out of the way. So Esau, through his spirit, that's programmed in him, right? That's programmed in him. That's why he's not going to stop.
Yeah.
You know, this is why we say, hey, we need a savior, bro. You know, and it told us to what? Wait until your help Hashem Yahushua rise up unto the prey.
Yeah.
Esau Edom's day is coming. We just gotta endure his wicked nature, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's into that.
Can we read the Salakia? What you about to say?
I was gonna say to back your brother up, like he's saying, we can't get saved from the system by going through the system, because it's ultimately broken. A lot of Jake, they think the solution is to get their bag up or, get together and vote the right person in office. It's like,
Yeah.
nah, we need a savior.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's nothing physical that we can do on this earth to try and, you know, change what's going on here. This is the Lord's will at the end of the day. And the Lord is allowing all these evils to happen so that when he returns, he can receive the praise even that much more. And but then we try to say, like the brother said, oh, maybe if we vote this person and then things have changed. Now, all these people working for the same people, where all of them working for the elites. If we try to, bear arms and try to, raise some type of militia or revolution against Esau, we gonna lose because Esau got too much. Esau's gift is the sword. He got too much power in that area. So we just nothing that man can do is gonna come to naught. You know,
This is one thing the last.
the last sentence on that slide.
It says, the AI industry is gambling the planet's future for profit while marketing themselves as saving humanity through innovation.
Yep, and that's that's crazy because can we grab Sirach 12 and 16, Baba Gusha?
Mm. This is Sirach chapter 12, verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips.
Kind of enemy speaking sweetly with his lips. Like I said, they acting as if they saving humanity through innovation. They're like, man, it's AI. We're gonna be able to build hospitals that's gonna be able to do this and do that. They talking about that they're gonna have hospitals that can create a vax that is specifically tailored to your makeup and your DNA. And we're gonna have these robots that are, superior to our humans and with this AI. Like all these different solutions they coming up with, and this thing that they pushing to make it seem like it's this beautiful thing, like it's this answer to life, you know. But let's read on.
But
Oh,
in
no, no, it's like in the Sirach.
Sirach 12 and 16, it says, and it continues, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
Esau know exactly what the ramifications of what he's creating is. Yet, because it lines his pockets, because it gives him profit, he gonna allow it to continue.
Yeah.
But the whole time he gonna continue to speak as if it's all good.
He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
Con, con, you know, Esau act like that they humanitarian, like they care about the people, and the whole time they allowing all these people to suffer need and to die. You had something not?
On that very next verse is going into it. It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first.
Okay.
And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee.
He's the issue, and he's acting like the issue is your solution, like it's your help. Like, come on, bro. Man,
Hey,
these
just
scriptures,
like the jab in 2020, man. Oh, we're gonna save your life. And how many people got put to death that
that's
now
crazy, bro.
got all these lawsuits and yeah.
I I even think of the MOTB, the MOTB is gonna be on a whole nother level, the advertisement that's gonna come from it and how much they gonna push it as if this is the best thing since sliced bread. And it reads in the scriptures that those who get it are gonna receive a grievous sore. Now
Mm,
that grievous sore, when you go into it, is basically it's basically talking about cancer because of the radiation and
mm,
things of the sort. Even the what the frequency that these phones emit, um pacemakers that people get inside of them, those push out a certain radiation that
mm,
affects people over time. you
mm,
know they're even seeing with these different brain chips and brain computer interfaces that technology is pushing out things that will ultimately result in cancer. So that MOTB, Esau acting like this is, you know, like this is gonna be good for everybody. And if things persisted, people would end up passing away and suffering from it, and dying. Well, that is what's gonna happen. The scriptures prophesy people gonna get a grievous sore from it.
Did you want that?
No, it's all good.
There's one more slide left. Um, this is the final slide. It says, "What's coming and what we must demand." By 2027, AI could consume water equivalent to half of the United Kingdom's annual usage. Climate models predict water wars, mass migration, and billions facing severe scarcity by 2030. Keep saying that 2030.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. Like, and that's why we brought out that Matthew 24 and 22, that this time has to be shortened. Esau has to be taken out of power because what would happen if Esau ruled like in a worst case scenario, and Lord forbid this ain't gonna happen, but what would happen if Esau ruled until 2060?
Mm.
Imagine the state that the world would be in. Should be like everything would be out of course.
Yeah, it'd be dystopian like a motherfucker.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about it.
Them dystopian movies where it's all gloomy and it's just like desolate. Like that would be reality, you know.
Yeah.
People would rather just not even exist, just give up the ghost right there.
Hmm.
And I got a quick preset. I got Sirach 30 and 17. It says, death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness.
Yeah, death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness. And Esau society, well, hey, like I said, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. That's why people are depressed. People don't want to live no more. People just done. Because of this world that Esau has created.
Hey, and that's by design too, because in Canada, they legalize euthanasia.
Mm-hmm.
Other countries too, they're encouraging people, hey, if you're depressed and you got too many problems, hey, just come to our clinic and we'll help you off yourself, you know?
Yeah, because that euthanasia used to be specifically for people who had life-threatening illnesses,
So,
and
in Asia,
yeah, yep, euthanasia. Nah, EUTH. Yeah, it used to be a thing to where people who had like life-threatening illnesses and things of the sort, and there was no hope of them getting back to health. And I mean like cancer or like, them type of things. Then
Mm.
they would do euthanasia, which is basically assisted self-deletion. Now it's getting to the point to where what makes you eligible to get euthanasia is illnesses such as mental illnesses,
Mhm.
depression, anxiety, them type of things.
Done.
And so what you about to say, brother?
I was going to say, like, it's like you gotta off yourself for depression, but it's like their world is was causing the depression. It's not like, oh, I just have a mental imbalance. It's like, well, you guys are the ones fucking everybody's heads up, man.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
then y'all fucking everybody heads up, and then you give them the opportunity. Oh, your head fucked up. Well, we got the solution. We can, just take yourself out. We'll help you with it. Like what? This
Yeah,
is man, it's like evil.
it's just genetics, man. You know, your parents were probably depressed too, and so it's all good.
yeah, yeah, the fucking suicide pods.
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, that's wicked, bro.
Constantly we can
that
read
helps
on
with
that.
that depopulation too.
Exactly.
It's back on the post. It says the choice is stark: regulate AI's environmental impact now or face catastrophic consequences. We must
Mhm.
demand mandatory water and carbon disclosure for all AI companies. Require environmental impact assessments before data center construction. Ban data centers in water stressed regions.
But that's the thing. They saying we need to do this and we need to do that. Esau gonna do what he want.
Facts.
You know.
Hey, just like that thing you sent me a while ago, Yatazak, with Trump talking about how he wants to uh, limit or make it so that there's only one approval process for all 50 states whenever they want to do something with AI.
Hmm.
Somehow.
Yep. Yeah. It was a thing. Like as of right now, all 50 states have their own rules and regulation on how AI works. So, Michigan and probably say like, nah, we don't want data centers built like this. You have different, different states have different restrictions. But now, once you make that law and say, well, all y'all states, we're not going off of y'all law no more. We're gonna create one law and framework and regulation that is the rule for all of the US. And these states don't got no say. They just know this is how we doing it now. What did Trump say? He said that he wants to lift all those regulations and restrictions so that AI can advance. So he gonna say, nah, well, now you can build data centers like this. Now the deep fake thing, now we are gonna allow deep fakes. We are gonna all these things y'all trying to block and ban and regulate to make things better. No, just because y'all hindering the process.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that pretty much that's what that is going into. Saying
Okay.
what we should do.
Kind of. So like I said, Esau gonna do what he want to do. We see that they creating that mischief by law. That now the U.S. is gonna have a regulatory framework for this AI, lift a lot of restrictions and regulations, and that's so that the elites' plans can persist. You know, but yeah, at the end of the day, Yahweh Shai is going to come and set things right and bring peace and order back to this earth. There's going to be a violent overthrow to Esau's rulership. Can we now we can get that Sirach 10 and 4 about Rashad, and then we can go to Revelation 18 and 11 or
So
11 and 18.
Sirach 10:4, it says, "The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable."
Right. This isn't the end all be all. Right now we dealing with this man in power, but there's gonna come a time where the Lord is gonna set the nation of Israel up on high. Yahweh Shai is going to be the king of the world, and that's when things is going to be good. And we're on our way to that here soon, very soon. And that'll be the last precept I got, unless y'all brothers got something.
This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. It says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great."
Yeah, we're just talking about this is basically the end. Esau's judgment is coming. The dead being judged. The wicked, their judgment is coming, and then the saints, the elect of the nation of Israel, they gonna receive their reward for standing true to the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And then what does it say is gonna happen?
And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Shouldest destroy them that destroy the earth. And who's destroying the earth right now? Esau. So he's going to be destroyed. These people who are set up and they ruling, but they driving the earth into the ground, they gonna be snatched up and put in chains if they not put to death. So that's basically right on time. It's basically saying laptop about to die here in a second. So did y'all have any other precepts before ending the lesson?
No.
So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Machakodash. We want to give double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS and salutation unto the elect. And Shalom.
Shalom.